Oh, yes. I was just looking at this Navy. When World War One ended in 1918, the Japan, the United Kingdom, and the United States were engaged in costly shipbuilding programs. And then there was what was known as the Nazis when German dictator Adolf Hitler rose to power in the early 1930s. He ordered the construction of a large navy. Japan and the Soviet Union also began building major fleets. Now, I would think that the United States Navy has a pretty good sized fleet, don't you? You got a lot of ships out there and a lot of Navy personnel, big nuclear powered aircraft carriers, the USS Abraham. Oh, the Navy's surface fleet. The Navy has about 275 ships and an active strength of about 325 men and women, with a reserve force of 110,000. Exactly what is needed to get that other 110,000? I mean, when you think of the cost of an aircraft carrier, you're sitting there out in the middle of the Atlantic or the Pacific thinking, oh, I wonder what's happening back home. And you realize that a large number of dogs are passing bonds to build schools because they think that the American population, isn't that right, dog? You're just going to screw the pooch on every American in the United States of America. You're going to keep explaining why we need more money to build more schools, how we have to make improvements without actually enforcing the rights of parents. And the United States Navy is going to let you do it because they let the dogs do whatever they want. Now, what do we need, okay, to get that other 110,000 working? Because it could be that these reserve components of the United States Navy might want to know every bond passed for the last 60 years, every contractor that received any of the money, every location where you've done an improvement. Because as I see it, the school boards of the United States don't understand the rights of a father. Now, if somebody could call the United States Navy, it seems like they got a lot of people working and they're on Navy bases or they're on ships out there in the middle of the ocean and they don't understand what's happening to their families. Ooh. Now, this whole concept of life in the Navy, ooh, you're a sailor in the Navy and you're sitting there not having anything to do every day, just waiting for a war to show up so as you could be active duty. When, as I explained it, my rights are being violated in the United States Navy. I want to know every property that's being taxed so that you could further your dog way of doing it. Give me the actual taxation of every bond in the United States that has been used to support the Department of Education. Because I looked at some of these schools and how you've been building them. Ooh, you got to accommodate every individual. They got to all be green. They got to be energy efficient, environmentally friendly. You're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on these institutions to educate America's youth, and then you're employing dogs as the teachers or the superintendents or the principals because we don't have enough citizens.